Welcome to my channel Economics Excellence. Today we are going through a quick revision of the chapter Elasticity of Supply. This is through a mind map. I have tried to make a very quick revision. First of all, to start with, whenever we are starting with a chapter, basically we have to know what is the meaning of it. So, here we have the meaning of elasticity of supply. What it is saying? It is the ratio of percentage change in quantity supply over percentage change in price. Or we can say, see, ratio of percentage change in quantity supplied over percentage change in price. Or we can write the same way, degree of responsiveness. Degree of responsiveness of the change in quantity supplied due to change in price. Okay? This is what is elasticity of supply. Now, let us move to the various determinants of elasticity of supply. Okay? Now, first one is what? Possibility of shift from one line of production to the other. The first point, first factor determinants. If the production can easily shift from the production of other products, means if the producers can easily shift from the production of other products to the one whose price has increased, the supply would be more price elastic. Suppose you are a producer and you have decided to shift from the production of the existing one to the another product whose price has increased, then the supply would be more price elastic. Yes. Next comes time horizon. What is it? Time horizon. Time horizon is saying what? Supply elasticity also depends upon the length of time for such response. During a short run period, say within a few weeks or months, it may be difficult to change quantities supplied in response to price change. So during a short run period, supply of any commodity may be price inelastic. However, it may become price elastic in the long run. For example, the supply of crude petroleum may be inelastic during the short run in any country, but with technological innovations and discovery of new oil fields, in the long run, its supply may become more elastic. Next comes the third one, supply of inputs. The price elasticity of supply of any commodity also depends upon the nature and supply of inputs required for the production of that commodity. Now, if these inputs are easily available, then the supply of that commodity will be relatively elastic in nature. Otherwise, the supply becomes relatively inelastic. That means if the supply of input is easily available, in that case it will be elastic, and if it is easily not available, then the supply of that input will be inelastic. Next comes production technology. If the production technology used in the production of any commodity is primitive in nature, then the supply of that commodity would be relatively inelastic in nature. However, if modern technology is used in the production of a commodity, then the supply of such commodity will be relatively elastic. Next comes nature of the commodity. If the goods are perishable in nature, they cannot be stored for longer periods, then their supply becomes relatively inelastic in nature. However, the supply of durable goods becomes relatively elastic. Next comes cost of production. If the average and the marginal cost of production increases at a high pace with the increase in the production of a commodity, the supply of such commodity becomes relatively inelastic. The producer has to bear high additional cost of production for increasing the volume of output. On the other hand, if additional output can be produced at slowly growing marginal cost, the supply would be relatively price elastic. Next comes nature of entrepreneurship. If the entrepreneurs are innovative and risk lovers, then supply of a commodity can become price elastic. However, if they are risk averters, the supply of a commodity might be relatively inelastic in nature. So over here, we have got this factor determinants of elasticity of supply, possibility of shift from one line of production to the other line. Second is time horizon. Third is supply of inputs, the nature of the commodity, then production technology, then cost of production, and then nature of the entrepreneurship. So these are the various factor determinants of elasticity of supply. Now let us go back to the concept of elasticity of supply, where we will be explaining the various degrees of elasticity of supply. When we say it is a perfectly elastic supply, that means when without any change in price, supply changes to any extent, which can be denoted as ES is equals to infinity. Okay, and we call it as what? Perfectly elastic supply. Now, when a change in the price causes no change in the supply, then we call it as perfectly inelastic supply, and it can be written as ES is equals to 0. Now suppose, next, when the change in the elasticity of supply, or you can say that when the change in quantity supplied is in exact proportion to the change in price, then we call it as unitary elastic supply. We can write it as ES is equals to 1. Now, perfectly elastic supply. Perfectly elastic supply, it says, when the change in the price brings about a larger change in the quantity supplied, we can call it as relatively elastic supply or elastic supply. This can be written as ES is greater than 1. And when a change in the price brings about a proportionately smaller change, what change? Smaller change in quantity supplied, then we can call it as relatively inelastic supply, or we can call it as inelastic supply, and that is denoted by what? ES is less than 1. Okay, so we have got 5 degrees of elasticity of supply. One, we have got ES equals to infinity, ES equals to 0, ES equals to 1, ES is less than 1, and ES is greater than 1. Now, let us take a numerical example, because you have to calculate price elasticity of supply. So, let us take this example. See, price is given. It is increasing from 10 to 15, rupees 10 to rupees 15, and quantity supplied is increasing from 200 to 225. It is supplied. It is supplied. So double P L I E D. It is increasing from 200 to 225 because I'll just try to tell you very quickly, as law of supply indicates what? When price increases, supply also, quantity supplied also increases, but moves in the same direction, right? So why the supply curve, the shape of the supply curve is a positively slope curve. Now, if we try to solve this particular sum, then how we have to do it? First of all, we need to write the formula that ES is equals to percentage change in quantity supplied by percentage change in price of the commodity. Percentage change in quantity supplied by percentage change in price of the commodity. Now, how do we calculate percentage change in price? Yes, percentage change in price will be delta P by P into 100, and percentage change in quantity supplied will be delta Q by Q into 100, as we have done for elasticity of demand. Now, over here, if you see, change price is how much? 15, and initial price was how much? 10. So, if we write like this, 15 minus 10, and that time what was the initial price? Was 10. So 15 minus 10 by 10 into 100, we can get percentage change in price. That becomes how much? 50%. Similarly, if we calculate percentage change in quantity supplied, the change quantity is how much? 225. So if we write it as 225 minus 200 by initial quantity, that is 200 into 100, then we get how much? 12.5%. So if you put the values in the formula, ES is equals to 12.5% by 50%, we get the value is equals to 0.25. 0.25. So here it is less than 1. So ES is less than 1, that is supply is relatively price inelastic. Relatively price inelastic. I hope students you have understood, and then you have got a very quick revision of this chapter, elasticity of supply. I would like you to like, subscribe and follow my channel Economics Excellence. Thank you.